In this video you will learn a third method of drawing from life or from photos that you can use together with the other two I've previously shown you for better accuracy and quicker improvement on your drawing ability. Let's get to it. So in a couple of my previous videos I showed you two different methods of which to draw, either from first-hand observation or from photographs. So if you haven't watched them, here's a link to view them now. They were my XY sight size method and drawing using simplified constructive forms. This video adds yet another weapon to our drawing arsenal that can be used in conjunction with the other two or just on its own. Each of the three methods are good enough in themselves to be used just as they are. I always say, why use one brush when you have three?
Not sure that analogy works, Tom. And you've never said that.
So the third method is by using an envelope. This is a multi-sided, straight-edged shape that encloses the whole object, using as few lines as possible. Its purpose is to resemble the object in its crudest and most basic form, without detail, texture, intricacies, or features. So as you can see here, I've started by creating an envelope around our reference image, my old DSLR camera. I then plotted the angles of the envelope along the x-axis and then followed by the y-axis. Join up the dots and gradually the shape of the envelope emerges. Once that's done, it's time to cut into the envelope to start refining its shape into a tighter outline. Keep cutting in until you're satisfied. Using the XY sight size method, plot the positions of the internal shapes and features one by one so as not to get confused by too many lines and marks. Now the camera lens. We know this is a cylinder on its side, so this would be a great opportunity to use the last of the three methods we now know, drawing constructive forms. So we need to plot out the major and minor axes of the end ellipse first. These are the lines that go perpendicular to each other across the most narrow and widest part of the ellipse. Extending the minor axis will give us our line of symmetry. 90 degrees down from the outside of the major axis gives us the sides of the cylinder, parallel to the line of symmetry. But with perspective, these two lines would narrow with distance from us. Carefully mark out on your photo reference the major and minor axes by finding the outermost part of the ellipse in 4 places. Join the 2 points of the minor axis and extend it down the length of the lens. This is your central line of symmetry. Now plot them carefully onto your drawing using the XY method. Next comes the most difficult part, drawing in the ellipses. Ellipses take a lot of practice to be competent at drawing them. My next video will be tips, tricks and exercises on how to draw them effectively and what to avoid. Now we're on the home straight with the finish in sight. Plot out the remaining features and details, again using the XY method. When drawing in some other lines, look at the negative shapes carefully and think of the 3D form of the camera as you draw it. This will, with practice, help to improve your artistic skills greatly. Simply copying images like cartoons, for example, doesn't really help you to improve much unless you draw it again from memory, because it forces you to think of the structure of what you're drawing more. Okay, final bit now are the concentric semi-ellipses on the lens, the most tricky part. Use the central line of symmetry to your advantage here by plotting out the points where the ellipses cross it. I recommend drawing the ellipses with the line of symmetry at the 90 degrees to you, otherwise they'll end up looking really wonky. Little fiddling here and there, and we're done. Some homework for you will be to practice drawing ellipses. Then, next video, I'll show you the best way to draw them and what to avoid. So if you like this video, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next videos twice a week. In the meanwhile, have a look at these, and I'll see you there.